All right. Oh, this is not live on Instagram. Okay. We're just, yeah. Now there is no sin in anything. It's amazing. Right. This is basic. And today we're going to focus on balance. So this week's theme, my theme for this week is yoga for life. And when I teach about this, what I'm really referring to is a couple of things. Yoga for life in that your quality of life. Of course, we're learning about the respiratory system, improving the respiratory system, but also yoga for life, like from here on out, right? So you might not at some time be able to do a chaturanga on the mat, but you're still mindful in everyday life, you know, yoga for life. You're still aware of your body awareness, and your thoughts. So let's come to seated. We're going to start. And actually, if you can take Virasana where you sit on your knees. If you can't, that's fine. Sit cross legs. And if you're at home and you find this difficult, some knee stuff going on, you can sit up on a couple of blocks, pillow, anything there. You can also just kind of leave weight in your hands if you need to. Take that pressure off of the knees. So, but at the same time, you do want to work towards this posture because this is full range of motion of your knees. As we age, you want to make sure your knees are 100%. So that you can still walk. These are pretty important. So we sit up nice and tall here. Chest is lifted, shoulders relaxed. And we're going to drop the chin to the chest. Just stretching the back of the neck. And then let's bring it back to center. Tilt your head to the left. If you want a little bit deeper stretch here, you might walk your right fingertips out to the right. And then come back to center. Tilt your head to the right. Now we want to make sure that the right shoulder doesn't try to pop up to the ear, that we're just trying to get the right ear down. And then maybe left fingertips walk out to the left. It's amazing. Let's come back to center. Now, you can take your head in a full circle or a half circle. I like to do half circle, where just drop the chin down, take it up to the left, and then drop the chin down and take it up to the right. So if it feels better to you to go all the way around, you can. Just warming up that neck. And then let's come back to center. Shrug your shoulders up to the ears, and then let them come down, and we'll start to take them in a big circle. So shrug shoulders up, back and down. Really any direction here. You can reverse that direction. That's always good. You can alternate right and left. Shrugging, rolling those shoulders out. And then we're going to come into downward facing dog. So turn on your mat to take downward facing dog. Now, if downward facing dog isn't your pose, you can always do what's called bird dog, which is on the hands and knees, where you stretch one leg back and the opposite arm maybe, right? So this can be your variation of downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, you want to have your hands wide on the mat, and you're stretching your hips high, your heels low. And your feet are about hip distance apart, or maybe a little wider, a little bit more narrow. There's no set rule there. But you want to pull your belly in, pull the bottom of the rib cage in, and breathe. Deep inhale, long exhale. Let's come up onto the tippy toes. Really lift up, stretch the bottoms of the feet, the toes. That always feels pretty good. And then relax the heels down. Now walk your feet up towards the front, or walk your hands back to your feet. You're coming into a forward fold. And then just shake your head yes and no here. Relax. Release anything, any expectations that you might be having for your practice today. Just kind of let that go. Now, let's bring the hands to the hips. Bend your knees a little bit. Squeeze your elbows toward one another. Push from your hips down through your heels. Come all the way up to standing. Good. So we can turn towards the camera for this. We're going to take tree pose or vrikshasana, or some people call it tadasana. But just a tree pose right out of the gate, working on our balance. We're going to do a lot of balancing. So just keep that in mind. You don't have to go, all out for this first one. So shifting your weight to the left foot. Maybe you bring your right heel to the left ankle. Maybe you bring your foot to the calf or the shin. And then maybe you bring it up to the inner thigh. Maybe you go ahead and bring it up into half lotus position. And bring your hands maybe to prayer. You could bring the hands to the hips. You could have your arms out to the side. I really just want you to settle into your breath, lifting your chest. Breathe. And know that balance changes every time, depending on what you ate, what you drank, what you didn't eat, what you didn't drink, and then how well you slept, all those things. Go ahead, release, right leg down. Take left side. So shifting the weight in the right foot. Bring your left leg up. This side might be different. So here's the thing. Don't try to be all straight. Allow a little sway. You feel grounded down through your right foot. The chest lifts. Your head is free though. There's some freedom in the head. Nice. Good. And release. Shake it out. All right, let's turn. We're going to take a sun salutation, but nice and slow. So turning to face the front of your mat, towards the front of the mat, not all the way to the top. Your feet can be together or your feet can be slightly apart, just depending on your knees and how well you feel standing with your feet together. That's a little bit more challenging. Let's inhale, sweep arms overhead. Exhale, now bow forward. Bend your knees here if you need to. Now lengthen on the inhale. Hands might stay on the floor. They might come to the shins. They might even come up above the knees. Now exhale, hands to the floor. Step a big step back and take your plank pose. Good. Now push the floor away from right underneath and behind your armpits. Don't let your head sag. Don't let your butt sag. Good. Pull the belly in. Shift your weight way forward. Lower your knees down. Now bend your elbows straight back. Pause halfway. Let your hips come down. Lift your chest for cobra pose. Good. Exhale for downward facing dog. So again, remember, if downward facing dog isn't a pose for you, you can always come to hands and knees. Now lift your right leg. Bend your right knee and open up your hip. So you're trying to stack that right hip on top of your left hip. But now press equally into both hands. Equally into both hands. Try to press your left heel towards the mat. Open the hips, side body stretching. Good. Square the hips, bring that leg back down. Lift your left leg. Do the same thing here. So really press equally into both arms, both hands. Open the hip. Press your right heel down. Yeah. Good. Release that foot back to the mat. Look between the hands. Walk your feet up or your hands back to your feet. Lengthen on the inhale. Exhale, bow forward. Now this time, just roll up to standing. Good. Yeah. So you can always have the option of rolling up like that, or you can come up with a straight spine. It's really up to you what feels best for your back. Different teachers have different opinions on that. And really, the answer is always, it depends. So let's do a sun salutation again, just like we did. Inhale, stretch arms up, arch back, look up. Yes, what a great day to be alive. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lengthen here. Hands might come to the shins or even above the knees. Exhale, now take your time, step back to plank pose. Shift your weight forward, way in the tippy toes. Put your knees down, bend your elbows straight back, pause. Good, inhale for cobra pose, hips go down, chest lifts up. Nice, exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Now, hand placement. Place your hands wide, fingers are spread wide. There's a couple of options here. So you can kind of grip the floor with your fingertips, right? But there's also a way of pushing through energy through the fingertips, like really keeping your fingers nice and flat. Again, which one works best for you? I kind of like to do a little of both. Sometimes I do a little bit more gripping. Sometimes I let that energy shoot through the fingertips. Let's look between the hands. Walk your feet up or your hands back. Lengthen. Exhale, bow forward. Good. Inhale, come all the way to standing. Stretch up, arch back. Arms down by your side. All right. So if you guys want to take a peek, I'm going to show you the next sequence that we're going to do. So we're going to do crescent lunge, right? Variation here, okay? Here. And then we're going to wrap into eagle pose. You guys are familiar with eagle pose. Then we're going from there to balancing stick or warrior three, some people call it, back to our crescent lunge. Yeah? Yay! Okay. Yeah, you just, you'll be fine. All right, here we go. So hands on the hips. Let's step back with the left foot. Now, one of the common things I see here is when people step back, they actually will cross the feet or they'll try to line up their feet, and that's going to be really challenging balancing there. So make sure your feet are about hip distance apart. Bend that right knee. Now keep lifting with your back inner thigh. That's going to be key. Pull the belly in. Now stretch your arms up. Good. Here's a crescent lunge. If you want, you can take the head back and look up. Yeah, but make sure you have energy in that back leg. Nice. Now look forward. Bring your hands to your hips. Push off of your back toes. Wrap right into your eagle pose. You can wrap all the way around or just put the toes down. Bend your right knee. Now your left elbow goes underneath your right elbow. Shimmy those shoulders away from the ears. Pull your elbows down. Arch your upper body back. Breathe. Good. Now unwind into your balancing stick or warrior three. You can have the arms forward, back, or out like airplane wings. Keep lifting your back inner thigh. Engage. Good. And come back to your crescent lunge. Land back. That's the tricky part right there. Yeah. Good. Hands on the hips. Step up. Shake it out. Yeah, not so bad. Yeah? Kind of fun. Okay. Right foot steps back. They're like, yeah, we have to agree. We're on camera right now. We'll talk later, right? Okay. So make sure, the thing here is to keep the back leg. It's really important. A lot of times the focus just becomes on that front leg and the back leg goes on vacation. But that back leg engaged is actually going to help your balance. So arms overhead when you're ready. You want to pull the belly in, lengthen the tailbone, lift up out of the waist. If you want to curl back, you can. You can take the head back, because that's a balance challenge right there. Taking the head back. Good. Now head forward, hands to the hips. Lift off and take your eagle pose. Wrap behind. Right elbow underneath left elbow. Pull down. Suck your stomach in. Arch your upper body back. Breathe. Steady. If you feel like you're going to fall, soften and exhale. Soften the breath. Soften your gaze. Take it to your warrior three or your balancing stick. Arms back, arms out, arms forward. More challenging. Yeah. Keep lifting with your right inner thigh. Yes. Good. Now step back to your crescent lunge. Hey, hey. Nice. Pull belly in, maybe arch back. Good. Hands to your hips. Step up. And relax your arms down by your side. Let's do a sun salutation. Inhale, stretch arms up. Exhale, bow forward. Now this forward fold should feel pretty good because a lot of times in balancing, the low back muscles want to take over. So this stretch should feel good. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, take your plank pose. Good. You're trying to do that transition with two big steps. Watch the head, make sure head isn't sagging. Shift your weight forward, lower your knees, bend your elbows straight back, pause. Inhale for cobra, hips down, chest lifts. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. Relax your jaw. Let's go ahead and take child's pose here. So bring your knees down, hips to your heels. So push your hands into the floor to help you get your hips down to your heels. really pull your belly in. I don't use the cue tuck your tailbone very often, but this is one time that I would say it's okay to tuck your tailbone kind of feeling. How you react in balance is how you react when you're hit with a stressful situation. You know, life's not all puppy dogs and rainbows. We know that. And so when you practice balance, you're practicing how to handle when things aren't puppy dogs and rainbows. Let's push back to downward facing dog. Good. Let's look between the hands. Walk your feet up or your hands back. Bending knees as much as you need. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bow. Inhale, you choose how to come up to standing. Stretch up, arch back, and arms down by your side. Okay, next sequence is triangle pose, and then we're coming into half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana here. The thing there is the back leg again. Where is the back leg? So I like to actually have people maybe bring, if you're struggling, bring both hands down, look back, see what this leg is doing. A lot of times it's over here. That's going to throw you over there. So we look back, we see where it's at, we engage it, and then we start to open up. I'm going to bring you into it from triangle pose. So if you're doing that with both hands down, you'll have to do a little something different. But we'll try from triangle pose. And this is straight leg triangle pose. So open up on your mat, facing the camera. Yeah. Turn your right toes out. Arms stretch out. Good. Now come out over that right leg. Take your straight leg triangle pose, Trikonasana. Hand might go to the floor, maybe to the shin, maybe the inside of the knee. Now, what's important here is to roll the chest open, right? And keep it open. So basically, when we come into this balance, Ardha Chandrasana, it's going to be the same shape, except only one leg, right? So bring your left hand to the hip, look down, bend your right knee a little bit, lift off. Lift your left leg. Make sure your left leg is engaged. Your right hand is about 6-8 inches diagonal of your pinky toe. Now really push down into your right leg, roll your hip open. Try to stack your left hip on top. Yes. Now, take your left hand to the ceiling if you like. Really scoop the right butt cheek under. Now, if you really want to challenge, take your focus up to the ceiling. Breathe. Nice. Step back to your triangle pose. Then we inhale, come up. Hands on the hips. Straighten your right leg, turn your right toes forward, left toes out. We take triangle pose, left side. So stretch the fingertips down and then bring the arms up halfway. Come out over that left leg. Good. Reach up. So remember this feeling right here. From the bottom of the rib cage, we're rolling open. Left shoulder towards the camera, right shoulder towards the wall behind you. Now we're going to take off. So right hand comes to the hip. Look down. Bend your left knee a little bit. Lift off. Place your left hand about 6-8 inch diagonal of your left pinky toe. Engage your right leg. Point or flex, doesn't matter. And then try to stack your right hip on top of your left hip. Now, are you breathing? How are you reacting? Scoop your left butt cheek under. Right hand to the ceiling, maybe look up. Breathe. Nice, very nice. Come back to your triangle pose. And come on all the way up. And hands on the hips. Turn your left toes forward. Keep your feet the way they are. Exhale, bow forward in a wide leg forward fold. Nice. Hands on the floor. Now, push the floor away. Shift your weight forward as if you were just going to pop up into a nice handstand. I keep thinking magically that's going to happen, but never has. Probably because I don't practice handstands on a regular basis. But that's the kind of feeling that you want. This is kind of prepping you for that. So if you push the floor away and you really lift those hips up, you're getting that inversion, you're getting the feeling as if I might one day pop up into a handstand. Good, let's bring the hands to the hips, bend your knees a little bit, strong belly, flat back, come all of the way up. Good, step your feet together. Good. Turn and face the front of your mat. Let's inhale, stretch arms up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, take your plank pose. Shift your weight forward. Lower your knees, bend your elbows straight back, pause halfway, elbows in. Inhale for cobra. You can push to up dog if you like here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Now inhale, step your right foot forward. We're coming into warrior two. And yeah, you guys' back's gonna be to the camera, but that's okay. Open up here. Yeah. All right. Good. Now you're the back, because you guys both have cute shirts on, so that shows off your shirts. Okay, I planned that. Okay, warrior two here. Stretch out over forward, Parsvarottanasana, side angle pose. Forearm to thigh, or hand already comes to the floor, your choice. Sweep your left arm in front of your chest, in front of your face, and open up. Good. So if you can keep your chest open and right hand comes to the floor without changing your upper body, bring your right hand to the floor. Yeah. Push the knee back a little bit, open it up, roll the chest open, breathe. Nice, strong belly. Good, come back to your warrior two, turn your palms up and take it to reverse warrior, stretch out. Yeah, beautiful. Good, back to your warrior two, take your hands to the floor, step back, down dog. Let's step that left foot forward. Come to warrior two on this side. So arms open up, bend that left knee. So in this left side warrior two, your hips are going to go a little bit, rotate a little bit to the left. Your ribs will rotate a little bit to the right. And then we're looking down the left middle finger. Back leg is engaged. Good. Reach out for your side angle, Parsvarottanasana. Left forearm on the thigh. Sweep the right arm in front and up by the ear. You can bring that left hand to the floor if you like. Breathe. Chest is open. That looks amazing. Your right leg is engaged. Pull the belly in. How are you reacting? Relax the jaw. Pull the belly in. Let's come back to our warrior two. Turn the palms up. And we follow the left fingertips up the ceiling. If you need a break for that left leg, you can always straighten it here. But back to your warrior two. Hands to the floor. Take your downward facing dog. And then sit to child's pose. Rest. Sit back. Now you can stretch those arms forward. You can also bring your hands back by your feet. That's a nice relaxed feeling for the shoulders sometimes as well. Knees can be together, knees can be apart. So everything is about balance, right? Yoga for life. A lot of times it gets confused. People think, oh, if you're practicing yoga, you shouldn't have any reactions. You shouldn't get mad. You're not being a good yogi if you get mad, they say. I disagree. So I feel like yoga is teaching us that, yes, you have emotions. If someone does you wrong, you have every right to be angry, to express that even maybe. But then you move on. You let go. But while you're in the moment, you feel your body. If you're sad, you're grieving. Of course, if you lose someone, you have to grieve. And you do that, you feel your body. You feel what's happening. Body awareness. And then you move on. Let's push back to downward facing dog. So being on the mat, practicing body awareness, what's happening in your body in these different postures is really life lesson. Let's look between the hands, step or jump your feet forward. Lengthen. Exhale, bow. Inhale, come all the way to standing, stretch up, arch back, look up. Then arms down by your side. Go ahead and turn and face the camera. Take a little break if you want, yeah. So fear. We don't want to live in fear, and at the same time, fear does keep us safe. But there's that balance there of when I'm not paralyzed by fear, but yet I use fear to in a healthy way, right, to keep me safe. All right, we're going to do Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. So that's the big toe hold or knee. So left hand on the hip, reach down with your right hand and grab your right knee or grab your right big toe. You can also take the outside of the foot. So that's always an option as well if you don't like to hold the big toe. If your knee is up, when you have the big toe, straighten your leg. But the posture is really about the left foot, the left leg, the left foot, and how you're reacting to everything. This is the life lesson. Chest is lifted, shoulders relaxed, jaw relaxed. Between the eyes, relax. Take it out to the right, turn your head to the left. And then your thoughts. Good. Bring it back to center and release. Shake it out. Let's do left side. Right hand on the hip. Reach down. Left knee, left big toe. Outside of the foot if you like. If your knee is up and you have the big toe or the outside of the foot, you can straighten the leg. Otherwise, just keep the knee bent. It's all good. What's happening in the right foot? Right? That's where the work is happening. Chest is lifted, shoulders relaxed, and then in between the ears. That's where the real work is happening. Nice and soft. Take it out to the left. Turn your head to the right. Good. Come back to center and release. Good. Turn and face the front of your mat. Feet together or feet slightly apart. Let's inhale, stretch arms out, arch back, look up. Good, nice, beautiful. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to take warrior one. So step your right foot forward and bring your back heel to the mat. So you might pause here, hands on the thigh first and then come up, maybe hands on the hips and then arms overhead. If you're ready to go boom all the way up into the full posture, arms overhead, you can. Yeah, both of you turn your left toes forward a little bit more at an angle, yeah, good. Now, bending that right knee, pull your belly in, lengthen up out of the rib cage. Maybe take your head back. Maybe press your palms together, look up. Yeah, strong arms. Nice, breathe. Now, straighten your right leg, and then exhale, come out over that right leg. And relax your fingers to the floor. And if you want, you can keep legs straight. If you want to do the Bikram version of this, you bend the knee, tuck that chin, and get your forehead to knee. You might be able to keep it straight. Breathe. Push the floor away with your hands. Good. Coming up the opposite way you went down. Think about the pelvis, the belly, the hips. Come all the way up. Good. Hands on your hips. Step up and relax. All right. Let's inhale, stretch arms up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lengthen. Downward facing dog. Good. So here you want to make sure that your arms are really pulling into the shoulder sockets. You're integrating those arm bones up into the shoulder socket. So you don't want to just be hanging out here. That's the most common thing I see with super flexible people. Is they just hang out there. It feels good to them, but it's actually not stabilizing in the shoulders. If you do downward facing dog with good form, good strength, it's one of the best arm strengtheners, in my opinion, of course. And that's the only one that matters, right? Step your left foot forward for warrior one, left side. Back heel down. Arms come up. Here we are. Now, so you're thinking about bending that left knee. You're pressing into your right heel and your right hip forward. Belly pulls in. Your ribs are going to rotate slightly to the left. Stretch your arms up. Take your head back if you choose. You don't have to. Taking the head back again is a balancing challenge. Breathe. Beautiful. Good. Now head comes forward. Straighten your left leg. Exhale. Come way out over that left leg. Now, if you like, separate your hands. Put your hands on the floor. If you want to bend that knee, you can bend the knee. You can tuck that chin and try to touch the forehead to knee. You can also keep the legs straight. Relax the toes. Make sure toes aren't doing too much work there. Really push the floor away. Good. Come out opposite way you went in. So palms back together. Think hips, belly, pelvis. Come on up with control. Nice. Hands to the hips. Step up and relax. Relax your arms down by your side. Let me see where we are going here. Okay. All right. Inhale, stretch arms up. A sun salutation here. Exhale, bow forward. Nice and slow. Inhale, lengthen. Step back to your plank pose. Shift your weight forward, lower your knees, bend the elbows back. Good. Inhale for cobra, up dog. Exhale for down dog. Sit in child's pose. Knees down, relax. So this is a great opportunity to breathe into the back of your rib cage. Feel that breath. You know, your lungs, most of the lung tissue is in the back body anyway. We typically think of lungs as right up here in the upper chest. True. However, they also go back here. And we want to learn to breathe and use full capacity of the lungs. Yoga for life. Yes. All right, let's push back to downward facing dog. Walk your feet up or your hands back. Come to your forward fold. Good. Lengthen on that inhale. It's such a great pose. Ardha Uttanasana right there. Exhale, bow forward. It becomes a drive-by a lot of times. Let's come to standing. You can come up with a straight spine or roll all the way up and arms down by your side. Go ahead and turn and face the camera. We're going to do like eagle, some people call this eagle prep, some people call it standing pigeon prep, some people call it figure four posture. But basically we're going to bring that right heel just on top of the left knee and sit back here, flexing the right foot. Now it's a big hip opener. We don't want to feel any knee pain. If we do, we back out a little bit. So bring your right heel just on top of your left knee. And then the idea is to sit the booty back. Get the booty back. Maybe your forearms come to your shin, the lower leg there. Maybe we have story time if anybody's got some stories. Yeah, balancing and a hip opener. Yeah, breathe. Steady breath. Sit back and maybe a little bit more and release. Shake that out. Let's do second side. Left ankle, heel just above the right knee. Sit back. Remember, no knee pain. If you have knee pain, back out. If you have knee pain, there's already been an issue for a long time going on there. Don't ignore it. It's not a time to say no pain, no gain. That is, when you're dealing with knee pain, that is not applied. Set the hips back. Nice. And release. Good. Go ahead and come on up. Turn and face the front of your mat again. We're going to make our way. Let's go ahead and take a sun salutation. Inhale, sweep arms up. Just because you guys look so good doing it. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, last time, plank pose. Shift the weight forward, lower halfway, elbows in. Good, inhale for cobra, up dog. Last time for down dog, press those hips high. Good, look between the hands, walk your feet up, have a seat. And take your legs wide. So we'll stay sideways for this actually, because I'm gonna have you, maybe come into this one here where we lift up. So we're not giving the camera the crotch shot. So take your legs wide, sitting up nice and tall here. So we can keep our hands behind right here. This is perfectly fine. We can start to walk the hands forward. Maybe you come all the way down, the forearms come down, maybe the chest comes down, maybe you reach out for your big toes or the outside of the feet. You're learning how to breathe here and relax. Check into those places between the eyebrows, your fingers, the jaw. Make sure those are relaxed. Breathe. When you exhale, maybe you feel a little shift, a little letting go. So the exhale is literally to let go of toxic carbon dioxide. So we might also take this opportunity to exhale anything else toxic habits, toxic relationships, toxic foods, addictions. If you feel your body awareness, when you eat things that are toxic or you're around toxic people, if you just tune in to how your body feels, your body says, not a good thing. Now, sometimes we do it anyway. And I don't know why. I wish I had the answer to that for sure, but walk your hands up and then bring your feet together. Reach down for your big toes. If you have really tight hamstrings, you might keep one heel down and then just try to straighten one leg at a time. But maybe you lift both feet up and you keep the knees bent. Maybe you're here and you keep the knees bent, but maybe you straighten both legs. Chest is lifted, head goes back. It's a balance, but you own your butt, and you have to lift your chest. Yes. Breathe. And if you roll back, it's kind of fun. So yeah, go ahead, release. So keep in mind there, round things will roll. So if you're rounding your spine, you're going to roll back. So the idea is to lift the chest, and that will keep your back straight, and then you won't. So you can, let's try it again, because I know you guys love it so much. So lift up, and keep your chest lifted. Straighten your legs if you choose. Chest stays lifted. Breathe. Relax the breath. Relax your gaze. Relax your jaw. Chest stays lifted. That's key. Try to point your feet too. That if you push your feet, toes into your hands and your hands back into your feet, that's a little counterbalance there. Yeah. Good. Yes. Chest lifted, head back. Yes. Push your toes into your hands and your hands into your feet. Yes. Gorgeous. Good. And release. Nice. All right. Stretch your legs long and then just kind of tap, tap, tap. All right. Soles of the feet together. Baddha Konasana. So we could be here. If your knees are way up here, I recommend that you just stay right here. Maybe even bring the hands behind. If your knees are down, you can pull the feet in if that's okay with the knees, and maybe the knees go down even more. Again, no knee pain. You can lengthen up in the chest and come forward here. If you have the feet and you want a little self-assist, you take your elbows as close as you can to the hip crease and then you're pushing down and out with your elbows. It's a little self-assist there, and that's going to help open up those inner thighs and maybe get the knees down a little bit more. Inhale, come up, and if you guys want to, you can face the camera, and we'll take a twist. So left leg will be straight, and then just step your right foot over, kind of in line with the knee there. Go ahead and flex that left foot. Sit up nice and tall. Use your hands around the knee to help you sit up tall. Chest lifts, and then rotate to the right. Right hand comes behind you. Lots of variations of the twist here. You could bring the left elbow to the outside of the right knee if you like, and to help push it back a little bit. But the real main thing here is just twisting from the bottom of the rib cage. You're lifting up and you're rotating. Now this is going to help. It's like a little self-massage for your organs, keeping them nice and flexible. They have to be able to glide with each other so that they can work well for you. Let's come back to center, unwind, and rewind your legs. So right leg is long, left foot steps over. Sitting up nice and tall, use that knee, twist to your left. Left hand behind you, maybe right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Nice and tall. And then take the eyes. The head just really comes along for the ride, right? We don't want to force the neck. Here, take the eyes all the way to the left. And then unwind, come back to the center, and then turn and face the front of your mat. Go ahead and lie down on your back. Good. And then we'll take a bridge pose here. So walk your feet in towards your hips, about hip distance apart. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Press your palms down, back the arms down into the mat. Lift your hips down. Imagine you have a torch ball or a block in between your knees. I don't want you to bring your knees together. I just want you to have that energy trying to hug something between the knees. And slowly release. Relax your legs however you like. It can be legs apart or together. Let's take a second bridge pose. So have the feet about the same that you did before. Tuck shoulder blades underneath you and imagine you have something squeezing between the knees. Lift up. You could have a block or a torch ball. You could be creative here. You don't have to share with me what you're thinking about. You can bring your hands underneath your hips, interlace your hands if you can. Now, the idea here is to get the arms straight and the hands back to the mat. Your palms are together, and you're trying to stretch your knuckles towards your feet. For some of you, the elbows will be bent a lot, and that's okay. Release the hands, release the hips. Just hug your knees into your chest this time. Rock side to side. Massage the kidneys, the back body. Let's keep your feet, knees up like they are. Bring your arms out like airplane wings, palms facing up. And then slowly take your knees to the right. Turn your head to the left. Pull your belly in, bring your knees back to center, take your knees to the left, turn your head to the right. This should be easy, nice and relaxing for the hips, the low back. check into those places. Sometimes we come here, we're relaxing the low back, but then we have our left shoulder all jacked up. So relax there, relax the fingers and the space between the fingers. Soften. Pull the belly in, bring your knees back to center. And we will do legs up the wall here or shoulder stand if you have a shoulder stand practice. If you don't have a shoulder stand practice, I love legs up the wall. Most people that know me know it's my favorite pose, one of the most beneficial. You can have your hands underneath your hips if you have something at home that you can place underneath your hips to elevate your hips, like a pillow, a bolster, a book, a block. That's great. Get the hips elevated just a little bit. You can do this at the wall. You could even do this at the sofa. You can just put your legs on the sofa. The knees are bent there, but that's okay. They're elevated. If you're here and it's hard for you to hold your legs up here because you have tight hamstrings, usually if you're having a hard time holding your legs up like this, you have wicked tight hamstrings. So you can always bend the knees and you can hold on to the backs of your thighs.
I'll meet you there.
You can close your eyes here if you want. You could do some toe yoga here just to pass the time, because I do like to stay in it a while. You could flex or squeeze and spread your toes. Take the big toe away, other 4 toes towards you, and go back and forth. You can roll the ankles clockwise and counterclockwise. Always good. Ankle mobility. If you have knee pain, I'm going to look at the ankle mobility. If you have knee pain, I'm going to look at hip stability. And then I'm going to look at tight quads. Those 3 things are the top culprits to knee pain.
When the soul lies in that grass, all thoughts will pass.
Go ahead and bring your knees, bring your feet down. And straighten your left leg, pull your right knee in. Just hug it in. As I pop, snap, crackle, ice. Now release your left hand and use your right hand to guide your right knee in a big circle. Big circle. And then reverse that direction. Now bring both hands to the back of your right thigh and straighten your right leg. Try to push your thigh into your hands and stretch your heel towards the ceiling. Flex your left foot, press that left thigh bone down. Now point your right foot. Keep it pointed, a nice straight leg. Release the leg, slowly lower that leg all the way down. Nice, bring your left knee in. Just interlace the fingers. You can go on top of the knee here first time. Similar to Bikram when removing pose action if you like. Good for digestion. Now release your right hand, use your left hand to guide that knee in a big circle. Full range of motion. The hip is a ball socket joint. It's made to do this action. Reverse your direction. If you have popping, clicking in that hip, it might mean instability there. So instead of stretch, 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 you might need to do some stability work in there. Let's hold on to the back of your left thigh. Your leg is straight. Push your thigh into your hands and try to stretch your heel towards the ceiling. Now point that left foot, nice and strong left leg. Release the leg, straight leg. You come all the way Good. Now slide your legs apart a little bit, maybe your heels towards the corners of your mat. Let your knees fall open, let your feet fall open. Coming into your relaxation, Savasana. So tuck the shoulder blades underneath you. Maybe draw the chin in a little bit. Relax the space between your teeth. Relax between the eyebrows. And just for a moment, let any grievances, worry, regrets roll off of your shoulders, off of your mat, completely away from you. This is practicing letting go. Stay here as long as you like, at least 3 minutes if you can. And when you do decide to come up, you'll take your time. And it was a pleasure to practice with you guys. We love you.